Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. Imagine being told to get a plastic surgery at 16. How absurd is that? Today, we're watching and reacting to UGLIES, a movie available on Netflix. Let's get into it.
Hundreds of years ago, humanity exhausted Earth's natural resources, causing society to descend into chaos and war. The best scientists in the world took the mission of saving what was left of civilization and created genetically modified orchids that became the new energy source. However, humans still fought over their differences, so the scientists also created the transformation. When they turn 16, every person goes through a life-changing operation that transforms them into their most perfect self. These people are known as pretties, and since they're perfect and happy living in the city, conflict is avoided. Those who haven't gone through the procedure yet are called uglies and stay in the dorms in Uglyville. Hallie can't wait to become a pretty and constantly uses an app on the mirror to see how she'd look after the procedure. Her best friend is Pieris, and they call each other Nose and Squint since childhood. Sometimes they go to the bridge during curfew hours and use special glasses to watch the pretties partying in the city. Hallie will be turning 16 in 3 months, but Pieris is older and he's getting his operation tomorrow. They have matching scars on their hands and promise they won't let the doctors erase them when they become pretty. At that moment, a patrol drone flies by, so they run back to their dorms. The next day during assembly, Tally overhears other students discussing the smoke, a hidden place outside the city led by some guy named David. It's said many people escape the city and hide there, but most students don't think it's real. At that moment, a hologram of...
Okay, so basically, they live on this planet where people are categorized into pretty and ugly. And all those that are pretty live in a different space. All those that are ugly are transformed into pretty people when they get to the age of 16. I hope I'm getting that right. So basically, this girl is waiting to turn 16 so that she can be transformed into a pretty. I don't know. It's just unbelievable when the character playing ugly is not ugly. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, even look at the other guy she was talking to. This guy is really good looking. How is he ugly? I mean, they should have made it quite believable, I don't know, with some makeup or something, by transforming them for the roles as uglies. You get me? But let's continue. Let's see what happens, I guess. And I feel like the mark they were both talking about, that they won't let those marks be erased when they are made pretty. I feel like that is not going to happen. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Let's get into it. Let's continue rolling.
Governor Cable appears and gives a speech on the importance of being pretty and perfect. Then all those who turn 16 are called, and Tally says goodbye to Pieris while telling him to meet her at the bridge in 1 month. In the evening, Tally watches the fireworks above the city and remembers the day she met Pieris. Her parents had just dropped her at the dormitories and Pieris was behind her in line. They exchanged nicknames and hit it off, so they quickly became best friends. One day Pieris accidentally cut his hand when taking a tablet from Tally, so she got the same scar while they promised to stay friends forever.
Okay.
Days pass and Tally sticks to her routine of going to class and looking at herself in the mirror. She often checks her interface ring too, but there are no messages from Pieris. After a month, Tally uses her ring to hack the window open and leaves it behind because it has a tracker. She sneaks around and makes it to the bridge, but Pieris hasn't shown up. Getting worried, she uses some rope to climb on the bridge and dangerously moves under it until she makes it to the city. She sneaks around by hiding behind the plants, but when a partygoer drops a mask, Tally grabs it and puts it on. The mask puts on a hologram on her body, making it look like she's wearing a fancy dress. Now Tally can get into the party, and she's amazed by all the decorations. Eventually she finds Pieris, who looks completely different and doesn't recognize her. Hallie takes off her mask and asks why he didn't go to the bridge, so Pieris explains things are different now and he doesn't know how he could relate to her anymore.
He looks like a Barbie doll. Really? Is this what being perfect is about? He looks like a robot. He looks like a Ken doll. That's what he looks like. His skin is too smooth. Like what? So this is what being transformed into being pretty is? That means he had been transformed into being pretty. Oh, so he was the one who was leaving, not the girl. I get it. He was the one who turned 16 and was called. I actually thought it was the girl. Oh, Gosh. I can't get over how unhuman he looks. But the thing is, I don't know if these people are supposed to be human. Like, I don't know what the story is about. Are they humans? Because they are clearly on some planets that is not Earth. I'm guessing.
Callie can't believe what she's hearing and realizes how much he's truly changed when she notices his scar is gone.
Said it.
At that moment, the security system
Called
detects
it.
her presence and Callie has to run away from the incoming guards. She gets stuck in a balcony, so she steals a bungee jacket and jumps. The fall is rather long, but the jacket causes her to bounce and land gently nearby instead. Then Callie runs out of the city by climbing under the bridge again.
Okay, Spider-Woman.
When she accidentally kicks a stone into the water, a drone finds her and comes closer to arrest her. Suddenly, her classmate Shay appears and makes Callie get on her hoverboard so they can fly away to escape. The drone tries following them, but Shay is a fast driver and manages to lose it by doing tons of crazy turns in the woods. To thank her for the help, Callie breaks into the kitchen and steals some snacks. The girls...
But why are they chasing them? Is it such a crime to go to the other place where all the pretties are? Pretties are? Why is it such a crime? Like, is she going to be put in detention or something? First, you know how people switch up when they think that, they've glowed up? That's what the guy did to her. I'm not surprised. I actually expected it. It was predictable that one of them would change. I just didn't know it would be the guy. Not a surprise. Let's continue watching.
Bond over their experiences and how hard it is to be left behind when all their friends turn 16 first. They realize they have the same birthday and get excited to have a friend to become pretty with. The next day, Shay brings a second hoverboard and tries teaching Tally how to use it, but she immediately falls. At
Will
school,
this
Tally is
friendship
shocked to see
end
some
well?
girls give Shay back a
I'm
book
not
since
too
those
sure.
aren't around anymore. The girls are impressed by the text description of surviving in nature and wonder if that's what the smoke is like. Tally borrows the book while the girls call her cool for her stunt last night, which makes her angry because it means Shay told everyone. She's afraid they may punish her by denying her the operation, but Shay assures her the system wants everyone to be a pretty. As days pass, Tally reads the book, but she still keeps dreaming about the operation. Shay continues to teach her how to use the hoverboard, and in return Tally keeps on hacking with her ring to get extra food. Tally also shows Shay her pretty designs on the app, but Shay doesn't have an account. In fact, she isn't excited about the operation at all. Eventually, Tally learns how to fly well and the girls use their hoverboards on crazy ramps to have fun. When Tally gives Shay the book back, she says she wishes she could visit that beautiful nature, and Shay mentions that it wouldn't be so bad not to get the operation, but Tally thinks that's crazy talk. Suddenly, Shay mentions the smoke and takes Tally to the edge of the woods. After leaving their rings on some branches,
I mean, to us, we're all like, yeah, like, girl, you look good. It's okay. You don't need to get the operation. But to understand where she is coming from, the lady that wants the operation, I've forgotten her name. Because it's like, that's what she has been accustomed to. I'm sure since she was a baby, if they are humans, I don't know. Or since she was young, because they showed her younger self, it has been ingrained into them, like, when you're 16, you're going to have this, you may be selected for this surgery that will make you pretty, that will make you perfect, that will make you, and so it looks like that is the only thing she's been looking forward to her whole life. Like that is the only goal she has. That is the only thing she wants in her world, in her life. So yeah.
they cross the border by riding their hoverboards over the river. Eventually, they make it to the ruins of an old city and Shay tells Tally about ancient objects like roller coasters. Next, Shay takes Tally into an abandoned building and drops the truth. The smoke is real and David will be arriving soon. Shay refuses to get the surgery and will be leaving tonight, so she wants Tally to come with her. However, Tally turns her down, saying she doesn't want to be free, she wants to be pretty. An upset Shay gives her directions to reach the smoke in case Tally ever changes her mind and hugs her before leaving on her hoverboard, following the sign of David's fire in another building. The next day it's Tally's birthday, so she goes to the clinic for the surgery. However, they call everyone except for her. Then a guard takes her away in an aircraft to see Dr. Cable, who
And I
explains
think
she
that
is
will
missing.
happen.
Tally says she doesn't know anything, but Cable can see her vitals on a screen that indicates she's lying. Cable tells Tally that Shay
Wow.
is in
danger because
Can I have some privacy? Like, really? Oh my goodness.
David brainwashed her, and he's known for holding people against their will.
Why do I feel like she's
When
lying?
Tally insists she doesn't know anything, Cable sends her back to her dorm without getting the surgery. That night, Tally hears a noise and is surprised to see Piries appearing at the window. Tally explains what happened and Piries thinks she should tell Cable what she knows so they can finally be together.
Why do I feel like they sent him to pressure her? Like, why do I feel like he's not a good person now? That they sent him to pressure her because they know that she likes him or she has a friendship with him. This guy looks like a dead person, like a ghost. I mean, look at him. Look at him. How is this perfect? Anyway. Whew.
The next day Tally is again taken to see Cable, who tells her David is developing a weapon to attack the city, so she needs Tally to infiltrate the smoke. Tally agrees to help and Cable promises that if she's successful, she'll get the surgery.
See, that shows that this lady is not a good person. Why will she only get the surgery upon condition that she helps you find David and Shay? Why? Why can't she just get the surgery if it's part of your system of living? Why? Why are you punishing her? That makes me know that these people are not good people, that, they are chasing perfection and all that and are brainwashing people to chase perfection too at such a young age. Maybe on their planet, of course, it's not a young age, probably. Maybe on their planet, 16 is an adult, because clearly they're not saying they're on Earth, But why do I feel like rather Shay and David have found the way out, like have found the truth, the truth? Because the truth is always only one. So they found the truth and they have found a way to sort of decrypt these people that have been brainwashed. And this lady is scared that she will be exposed. And so that's why she's doing all this, to find David and Shay. I may be wrong or right, but let's continue watching and see what happens.
She also gives Tally a necklace that flashes in her eyes, which she must activate when she finds the weapon's location. Afterward, Tally follows Shay's instructions and rides the hoverboard on the old roller coaster for a few miles. Eventually she finds a gap and falls in the woods, but she's caught by a force field. There she finds abandoned train tracks, which she must follow to find the smoke. For the next few days Tally survives in the wild like she read in the book and admires nature like never before. She also gets to climb a mountain. The train tracks have a big gap in the middle of a chasm, so she gets on the hoverboard again and makes a big jump that shuts down the board. Tally starts falling very fast, but before she hits the ground, the hoverboard reactivates and she reaches the other side of the chasm. Now she has to wait in a field of flowers like the instructions said.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Cable brings Piries to her office, revealing he went to her dorm the other night because she asked him to.
Exactly.
Piries admits it felt good to be in town, as if he could think clearly again.
See? I called it. I called it. He just wanted to manipulate her into kowtowing to this woman's conditions and things like that. I'm just thinking the amount of green screen, the amount of set design and stuff that go into movies like this, wonderful. I'm just looking at her having all these adventures and I'm like, how was this movie filmed? How did they do it? But now if we see the behind the scenes, she's just in maybe some green screen attire, sleeping on a bare floor, Let's continue watching. Fascinating though.
Again. Then Cable announces a select few have been chosen for a new procedure and Piries agrees to enter the surgery machine to get body enhancements. That night Tally wakes up coughing because of smoke. She discovers the field is on fire and doesn't know what to do, but suddenly a mysterious person picks her up and takes her away. This is David, who starts scanning Tally and her things for trackers. He finds one inside the hoverboard and removes it, but his scanner doesn't react to the necklace. At the same time, Cable's men receive an alert about the tracker being removed and she sends people to search the area. In the morning, David and Tally make it to a smoke outpost, where Tally gets to reunite with her friend. Shay is super excited to see her, but Croy is suspicious. The group camps for the night and Shay asks about the necklace,
simple life.
So Tally pretends it was a gift from Piries. Tally is surprised to see Shay happy after what Cable said and tries to express her worries, which makes Shay think she came to convince her to go back. An argument ensues and Tally agrees to give the smoke a chance. The next day Tally learns that the smoke stars fires on purpose to burn the orchids because they're actually toxic and destroy any place they're planted in. Tally doesn't believe him and says the orchids were the clean energy solution, but David explains that's a government lie and that the flowers are turning the planet into a wasteland. He wants to take Tally on their mission to prove it and Croy protests, but Shay vouches for her. The group has an old helicopter that they fixed with solar panels and they go on a flight. Now Tally can see the area where orchids used to grow, which is nothing but...
See? They found the truth. This lady has been lying to them. That means they've been using these orchids to control them, you know? So they are burning down the orchids. This movie is quite interesting. It's quite interesting. You know, I feel like at the end, it will be that sort of thing where it's like they sent her to infiltrate the camp of David and Shay and get information and all that. But in the end, she will be their downfall. You know, she will lead them to fight Cable, the lady that sent her. I feel like in the end, she will become the mistake they wish they never made by sending her to Shay and David, because she's going to become more powerful. As she's with them, maybe she's going to realize more and more that, wow, Cable is just brainwashing the pretties at the other side. And she's going to lead David and Shay to destroy Cable and deactivate whatever spell is on the pretties. Yeah. Let's see if my perception, you know, turns out to be right.
Which is nothing but desert. Using a flamethrower, Shay burns down as many orchids as possible. At that moment Croy's tablet detects someone coming, so David lowers the helicopter to hide in the smoke. The movement looses the rope holding Shay and she falls. Cable's scouts are getting closer, so Tally ties a bag at the end of the rope for Wade and throws it off before using it to go down. The helicopter starts to lose lift while Tally looks for Shay among the flames. Luckily she finds her, and when a scout tries to get closer, Tally grabs the bag on fire and throws it at him. Then the girls hold onto the rope and the helicopter flies away right before a scout can jump on.
She's already begun.
After the group lands,
fighting
Croy
hair
points
people.
out the scouts could have only found them because of Tally, but Shay defends her and David thinks anyone who risks their lives for a smoke is worthy of a chance. The group camps for the night, but Tally can't sleep because she keeps thinking of Cable and how she taught her to manipulate the rebels. She leaves the tent for a walk and finds David bathing in the river, so she gets back in the tent to hide her embarrassment.
Oh my god, I hope
The
they don't fall
following day
in
Tally
love.
is blindfolded and finally taken to the smoke,
Predictable.
where a whole community is thriving in nature. Hallie thinks it's harder than in the city, but she admits food tastes better when you grow it yourself. Even old people must work and there's no money, so things are shared or traded. Most importantly, everyone is there by choice. The train tracks are being recycled to make tools, but they make no weapons because they're pacifists. One afternoon Tally finds a weird door and tries looking inside, but Croy catches her red-handed and sends her away. Hallie starts using tools to help with the tracks.
I'm confused. Why don't they have weapons when they are fighting against people that have weapons, like that have powerful tools that can destroy them in one sitting? Their choice, I guess. But I'm even thinking about it for myself, like, aside from the surgery thing, like the pretties, making people pretty and perfect thing, would I want to be in a world where I'm the one working and doing, what's that? Man is tired. Would I want to be in a world where I am working and building and doing all these things when the other life provided for me, like everything was provided for me? People were like working for me. Like I was just living life, enjoying my life, waking up, going to school like she was, you know? Yeah, tough decisions. Like why would I want to be here working hard? And no, I want to work smart. I want a soft life. Oh, it's just that the manipulation part, where Cable is manipulating them, that's the only thing, you know. They are under control. They're under control of Cable at the other side. The pretties, they're under control of Cable. That's the only like negative thing. But I mean, it's not bad to wake up and just live life instead of like working all day. Who wants to do that? But yeah, I guess if these people are all here by choice, okay, I guess.
Tastes spicy food for the first time, and shares the dances around the fire. Sometime later David teaches Tally how to use a hunting crossbow and they enjoy their time together.
These people literally feel more free.
It takes her a few tries,
like,
but eventually she hits the practice
they feel
target.
more alive.
On their way
know?
back, David explains he never saw the city because he was born.
They are not so robotic and controlled. Like, the pretties at the other side of the planet. So that's also cool. It's just the working part. Nah.
Born in the wild and grew up with his family. Callie is shocked to hear this because she barely knew her own parents. Then David gifts her a pair of gloves. At that moment,
What if Cable killed the parents of all? Because it's true, I haven't seen grown adults on the other planets aside from Cable. Or, wait, if you've watched the full movie before, let me know. Are there grown adults on the other side where the pretties are? Like where the pretties and uglies are kept? Because I think the other side has pretties and uglies, and then these people are just like outcasts, right? So there are basically 3 categories of people. The pretties, the uglies, and the outcasts who decide to go to where the smoke is and live a carefree life, right? So it's not just the pretties and uglies like I thought in the beginning. Yeah, let me know if there are adults where the uglies and pretties are, aside Cable, the woman that is ruling that place.
At that moment, a smoke member comes back from Orchid burning with a wound, saying the scouts are still around. She also explains those scouts were faster and stronger than normal. Afterward, Shay notices Tally wearing the gloves and points out it's a big deal. Objects have different value there and David made those, so giving them to Tally means he likes her. Shay tells Tally to make her choice already and stop playing with them. The next time Tally goes on a walk with David, she mentions she heard rumors of a weapon to destroy the city, so David takes her to a house far from camp. There she meets David's parents Oz and Maddie, who are the ones guarding all the books. They used to be cosmetic surgeons for the government and got suspicious of a few tests, so they started to investigate. It turns out the physical changes were just a cover to hide the fact people got their brain altered too. Becoming a pretty means being dumb and slow under a fake sense.
See? Cause her friend immediately became a pretty, he sort of changed and like they are just under some control. They don't seem like normal people. They seem more robotic after they become pretty. Like her friend did. He couldn't even recognize her at first. You know? Because remember that when she met him at that party, he couldn't even recognize her at first. And he's doing everything that Cable is telling him to do. Yeah, I knew it. I had a suspicion that David or whoever, it turns out to be his parents, found out something, have found out the truth about something that is not going right under Cable's government and decided to be the outcast and run away. That really makes sense. Let's continue. I'm having fun. I'm actually enjoying this movie. I'm actually really enjoying it. But who has time to watch the full movie?
A fake sense of happiness so the state could easily keep them under control.
Wait, plus I don't have Netflix, so yeah.
The operation has also killed many people, which was kept secret. When Cable realized Oz and Maddie knew the truth, she stole all their research. People working for the state like doctors were actually given a cure so they could think clearly while working, so David's parents chose to flee the city and grow old normally in the woods.
See?
They've been looking for a way to recreate the cure, but there's a synthetic component they don't have, so they only have a base serum.
See?
This is the so-called weapon that could destroy the city.
Predictable.
After the meeting is over, Tally throws her necklace into the fire, choosing to stay.
See? So I'm guessing Tally is going to find a way to go back into... What's happening? So I'm guessing Tally is going to find a way to go back into that camp and get that material they need to complete the cure. She is going to be the downfall of Cable's governance. Cable thought she was using her as an asset, as a spy, but this lady is going to turn out to be Cable's worst nightmare because she is going to bring Cable down. She's going to be the cause of Cable's downfall. Let's continue.
Stay with the smoke. She also tries telling David that she's done terrible things, but he doesn't care because she's a new person now. Then they share a kiss. In the fire, the necklace sparks. In the morning, city aircraft arrive at the smoke and open fire.
Yeah, the necklace is sparkling, I'm guessing, because it is not what Cable told her it is. I'm not sure Cable told her the full power that necklace holds. I don't think Cable was honest with her about that. Because I'm sure as wicked or as manipulative as Cable is, she also had an alternative plan. She knew that there may be a chance that Tally might turn against her. And so I think that necklace is Cable's plan B. In case Tally turned against her, as we see now, she was burning the necklace. So the necklace is not actually like destroyed. So the necklace still works, because it holds more power than Cable told Tally it does.
Smoke and open fire. Everyone starts running away and the scouts chase after them, only to fall for the traps already in place like nets and logs. Unfortunately, they're too fast and strong, so traps aren't enough to stop them. Soon they're knocking down and capturing every rebel on their way, including Shay. Callie manages to find a hiding spot with David, who wants to go out to help. However, she stops him since they're too strong for him. The duo sneaks to the spot where they're gathering all the prisoners, and Tally is devastated to discover Pieris has become a scout. Oz and Maddie are captured at the same time.
Are
Cable
we
arrives and
surprised?
demands to know where David is. The parents refuse to talk, so Cable orders Pieris to kill Oz.
Oh my goodness,
David
I
and
knew
Tally
it.
run out to stop him, but it's too late. Then Cable tells everyone that Tally has been working for her and now the Smoke members hate her. While everyone is distracted,
no.
Maddie hides the serum in David's pocket. As Cable announces everyone will receive the surgery, Tally runs to the supply shack and starts a fire. She also grabs a crossbow and escapes through the window while a scout tries to break in. Suddenly the fire...
So that means they do have weapons. Like their weapons were the traps, the wood locks, and the arrows or spears or whatever they are. So why did they say they don't believe in weapons and all of that? Oh, but that was the shed that Tally was going to enter into and was stopped from, right? So maybe they do have weapons, but they didn't trust her enough to let her know at that time. Am I overthinking it? Okay. Let's keep going.
Fire causes an explosion and it throws the scout back. It also allows David to run away. A scout comes after him, however Tally stops him with an arrow. Pieris wants to join the chase, but Cable announces they're leaving. Some scouts destroy Maddie's research and set the area on fire while the others push all the prisoners into the aircraft. After they're gone, David gathers the few supplies he can find for a rescue mission. Tally tries approaching him and he attacks her with a knife, barely stopping himself from hurting her. She wants to help him to rescue the others and he points out he doesn't trust her anymore, so Tally explains he needs her because he's never been to the city. Sometime later in the city,
Good
Tally
point.
approaches the students that read Shay's book and introduces them to David to prove that the smoke is real. Callie borrows an interface ring from them and asks them to gather lots of kids to create a distraction. Soon a bunch of teenagers write the smoke lives in the sky using their hoverboards. Meanwhile, David and Tally wait for the aircraft to leave the clinic and get inside using hoverboards too. They go through the aircraft tunnel and land safely thanks to the bungee vests. They carefully sneak around and Tally uses the ring to hack a lock, but this isn't just a kitchen and it doesn't work. Suddenly the door is opened by a pretty and David immediately starts fighting him. They exchange a few hits before David overpowers him and holds him against the wall, so Tally takes his ring. Then David throws him in the corridor and Tally locks the door. As the alarms go off, the duo finds the cell and uses the ring
How
to
are the
free everyone.
pretty so strong?
Callie
I wonder what
realizes
they are
Shay
doing
isn't
to
around
them.
and Croy reveals she was already given the surgery. While most of the group escapes, David, Tally, and Maddie go looking for Shay, but when they make it to the lab it's too late, she's already a pretty. Callie cries and apologizes, yet Shay swears she loves it. At that moment Cable and Pieris arrive and force the trio
Because
to get into the
they've
machine
also
so they
operated
can
on
finally
her
get the
brain.
surgery.
Oh my
The
goodness.
process begins, but before the needles can start cutting, the Smoke's helicopter
God.
appears outside and
She
Croy
did not
opens
want
fire
the
with a
surgery.
flamethrower. Cable and Pieris are forced to run and the machines get damaged, so the system fails and the operation stops. The trio comes out and Tally grabs Shay while Maddie gets the component she needed from a cupboard. The group runs to the roof and finds Pieris, so Tally tries to make him see reason by using their nicknames
I'm not
and pointing out
surprised.
a piece of glass gave him his scar again. Pieris gently touches Tally's face and David thinks it's an attack, so he tackles Pieris and tries to fight him. Pieris is too strong and keeps beating him up, but before he can kill him Tally uses a hoverboard to move fast and tackles Pieris, making him fall off the edge. He holds on for a second and says her nickname before he falls into a waterfall. Afterward the group escapes on hoverboards and see the other teens making the drones crash against each other in the sky. They hide in the abandoned city and Maddie takes the serum from David's pocket to finish mixing the cure.
I wonder, what made Pierre become his real self for those few seconds before he jumped off or died or whatever? I wonder what it was. Was it like the emotional connection she tried to have with him by showing her their scars? Or I wonder what that is, because that is powerful, because that is a way they can bring back all the pretties, right? connecting to something within them that is beyond their altered brain or surgery or whatever it is that Cable is doing to them, you know?
However, she can't be sure if it'll actually work or have bad side effects for the brain. Shay doesn't want to take it and Shay refuses to force it on anyone, so Tally volunteers to be the test subject. She'll hand herself in and let them do the surgery so she can then take the cure, promising to keep a sign for them to know if it works. The aircraft and Cable are coming, so after a final goodbye, the group runs away while Tally lets the scouts arrest her. Sometime later, Tally is the perfect pretty living in a very fancy apartment. She swears she loves being like this, but the scar on her hand reveals she's still herself and lying as a spy. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch.
Okay, is that like a part 2 or something? Because I feel like the end left us hanging. What happened? Did they find the cure? Like, what's going on? Is there a part 2? If you've watched this movie or if you know about Uglies, let me know. Is there a part 2? Because I don't feel like this is the end, especially because she's a spy. Wait. If she has been turned into a pretty, or if she has undergone the surgery, but she still has her mind, that means their cure worked? Is that what it means? Maybe that's what the end means if there's no part 2. Or is it that she didn't undergo the surgery, but she has intentionally enhanced her beauty with makeup or something to let them think that she underwent the surgery, she's now a pretty, I don't know. But to me personally, I don't see any difference between when she was an ugly and a pretty. This lady is already beautiful, oh. But yeah, that's like a cliffhanger to me. I just don't understand the end. Does that mean that the cure worked if she's pretending to be a pretty, but she actually still is herself? Or is she pretending to be a pretty as they are working on the cure? I don't know. So many questions. Because what then happens what happened to the other uglies? And what happened to Cable? Wait, was that shown or I didn't realize it? Or when the whole place was destroyed, Cable was also destroyed? I mean, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments. And please, if you've watched the full movie or series, I don't know if it's a movie or series. Now I'm beginning to think it maybe it's a series because I don't understand the ending. If you understand the ending, put it in the comments. And if you've watched the full thing and you feel like there's something this movie recap missed that is important for us to know, please let us know in the comments. Give us the full paragraph of explanations, Let us know. Educate us. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around with me. Please do like this video if you enjoyed this watch party with me. And share your thoughts in the comments. And please don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.